Welcome back inside Frost Arena. South Dakota State and Drake get set to go at it. Bulldogs and the Jackrabbits. Quick look at the tail of the tape, Brad Newitt, and Drake so far. They've been in some high-scoring games in their first 4 of the season, averaging 83 a game. And look at the assist number for Drake.
Yeah, that number right there, 23 assists per game. That is the best of any Division I team in the country. And get this, Tom, they make 30 shots a game. So they're getting 23 assists on 30 made field goals. That is an unbelievable percentage there. This is a Drake team that loves to play up tempo and can really share the basketball.
Kiara Collier out of Kansas City, Missouri is 8th in the country in assists, part of that 23 a game for the Bulldogs. Both teams bring the blue tonight. Bulldogs in the road blues. Jacks home whites tonight, and Peyton Burkhardt to Lindsey Thunick. Looking inside for Maya Sellen on that left side. Nothing there. Here's Tori Nelson, sophomore, back in the starting lineup again this season. And Haley Greer, the other starter for the Jackrabbits. Thunick has been fantastic shooting the ball from three-point land. She is 10 of 14 on the season now.
Yeah, that bumps her over 70% now on her three-point percentage for the year. So a great start for Thunick.
Collier at 18 a game. Maddie Monahan is averaging 16 a game. And then Grace Berg, 6-footer inside, averaging 18 a game. A transfer from the University of Missouri. Jackson possession again. And Haley Greer to the rim and in and one. And South Dakota State off to a quick offensive start after a couple of games, Bradley, where they just had trouble shooting the basketball, finding the bottom of the net against Kansas State and against Northern Iowa in those last 2 road losses.
Yeah, they only scored 50 points a game at South Dakota State in their last 2 road games. And for Greer, a good start here. She did not score in their last game.
Sellen with that O-board off the missed free throw. Jackrabbit first 5. Tori Nelson with the bucket. So 3 Jackrabbits have scored already here in the opening minute.
And here's the thing, Tom. The 2 leading scorers, Sellen and Burkhardt, aren't in that mix. So a good start for SDSU, getting everyone involved.
Bulldogs trying to get it down to Burrich, taken away by Thunick. Haley Greer looking to score. 3 is good, and it is a 10-0 start in less than 90 seconds for South Dakota State. Well, welcome back home, Jacks. Greer with the 3, and it's 10-0 SDSU. Welcome back. South Dakota State off to a 10-0 start against Drake. Our coaching comparison tonight brought to you by Dakota Bank and Jenny Baranchik. 9th season as the Drake head coach. She is from Des Moines, home of Drake University, and was a star player at the University of Iowa back in the early 2000s. And AJ now in his 21st year as the head coach of the Jackrabbits, piling up those wins, 495 overall.
Well, 2 just, again, terrific mid-major programs here that have been consistently in the NCAA tournament here the last 3 years.
Played each other last year in Des Moines. It was the first game of the year, and Drake won 74-67. And yeah, 2 years ago, Bradley, both these teams were fantastic. Drake had 27 wins. Jacks had 28. Both went to the NCAA tournament. That was the Sweet 16 year for South Dakota State. Bulldogs, they've got those big assist numbers. They're averaging 17 turnovers a game as well, and they commit one there, but they take one right back. Steal by Grace Berg. Shot strong there by Allie Woolridge, and it comes back to Maddie Monahan to get Drake on the board.
Well, if there's a team that's built for coming back from a huge early deficit, it is Drake, because they love up-tempo, and I think South Dakota State's not going to be afraid to play up and down with them. So there's going to be plenty of possessions in this game.
Maya Sellen straight away for 2.
4 SDSU players already on the board here, and for a team that couldn't buy a bucket on the road last week, what a start for SDSU here tonight.
Jacks are 5 for 5 shooting from the field. Missed there by Monahan, and South Dakota State with the board. Burkhardt kick to Tori Nelson, and before that shot goes up, they're going to get Burkhardt for running over Monica Burich.
Well, that was actually a call that Ginny Baranchek won it on a possession before when SDSU had scored. And South Dakota State's got to be careful there. You got to come to that jump stop when you pass the ball like that. And Drake, well aware that they could pick up a charge there. They do at that time.
Monahan runs that down over on the sideline. Maggie Nygaard has checked in for the Bulldogs, running down into the post there. Collier comes to the top. Looking inside to Maggie Bear at 6'3", who was checked in as well. And here's Nygaard for three. O-board and put back for Grace Berg.
When you look at missed shots on the offensive end for Drake, they get about a third of them as offensive boards. They've gotten a couple here tonight to get their 2 buckets.
Berg and Burich, really good offensive rebounders for the Bulldogs. Foul on Haley Greer, trying to keep Berg from making that catch.
Okay, transition defense is going to be so important for both of these teams, and Drake did a nice job there running the sideline break, passing the ball quickly up the sideline. You hit your post, run into the block, and that time they draw a foul doing it.
Back to Berg, stepping through. She's got back-to-back buckets. And Drake, after being down 10-0, gets back to 12-6 now, settling in a little bit on the road.
Yeah, they can score the ball here. And now you see Drake going to zone defense, and they are not afraid, Tom, to switch it up defensively. They'll sprinkle man, they'll sprinkle zone together. Want to try to keep South Dakota State guessing and keep them off balance. Don't let them get in a rhythm.
Good rhythm there for Sellen on the inbounds, and Maya Sellen has hit her first 2 shots.
Not well communicated, though, Drake defensively there in that zone on the out-of-bounds play.
Bulldogs have played 2 games on the road. They lost at Green Bay 69-61 and won at the University of Minnesota 99-66. Bulldogs scored 97 in a loss at Iowa.
Actually, a game that was at Drake, that Iowa game was.
Lost
actually.
to Iowa,
yes.
Yep.
But how about that? How about you score 97 and you don't win the game? That's pretty unheard of. But that Green Bay game for Drake, that was a head scratcher. That game was not played at the pace they wanted to play the game at, obviously, and I think they are a much improved team after that one.
Drake's been in the lead every game other than that Green Bay game. As Tylee Irwin coming off the bench. She sat that first game, had a little minor injury in the first game for the Jacks, did not play in that first game, and has only made 1 start since, so they bring her off the bench, and Irwin knocks down the 3rd 3 already for South Dakota State.
Yeah, by 3 different players, Tom. And, in their last home game, I looked this up, South Dakota State had 7 different players hit a 3 in that big win over Gonzaga. And on the road, only 2 players hit a 3 in their last 2 games, and that was Sellen and Thunick. So they got to get others involved. So good for Irwin to hit her first one that time. Okay, Drake is relentless on the O glass. We're seeing that being the one thing right now that's really helping keep them in this, because they're not shooting it well at all from the field. Just 3 of 9 here now so far, but getting second chances.
Yeah, Maggie Bear and Mesa Byam got tied up there, stayed with the Bulldogs, and then a foul on the screen on Maggie Bear.
Nice post up there by Byam inside.
Down to Bear. Collier on the bench for the moment for the Bulldogs is Taylor McCauley, a redshirt freshman out of Minnesota. On the drive, kind of slipped, got knocked down as well. Foul on the Jacks on Irwin, and that's 5 fouls already in the quarter here on South Dakota State.
And credit what Drake has been able to do, running the floor there with that, again, that sideline break where they pass the ball quickly up the sideline, and SDSU not sprinting back and You know, that was a huge concern for the SDSU coaching staff coming into this game, because it's tough to simulate in practice the speed at which Drake plays the game at in the open floor. I guarantee that's what Aaron Johnson's talking to his bench about right now. When you're in the game and you sub in there, you've got to be ready for the pace that this is going to be at. There is no time for jogging back defensively in this game.
Bulldogs got a quick steal on this zone press early on. Jacks handle it here. By him. Good drive, no finish for the freshman. And another South Dakota State foul coming out of there.
Yeah, compounding, unfortunately, the missed shot there. And normally maybe that's not a big deal. You're going for no glass. But now that your team is already committed that 5th foul, Tom, we still have almost 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. You can't be sending Drake to easy free throws here now because you tried to go after an no glass that you really didn't have much of a chance at.
2 shots for Maggie Bear. Maddie Voloshin, the Jackrabbit freshman from Lenox, South Dakota, in for the first time. And the Bulldogs knock it out. That allows them to set up the press again. Thunick might have shuffled her feet there. Burkhardt, good move, and in for Peyton Burkhardt.
That's a great job by SDSU attacking the zone from the inside, and they've gotten some post touches early against this.
Monahan and Woolridge playing catch there, and then it comes into the hands of knee guard. She runs over Maya Sellen, and this goes the other way.
Great job by Sellen. Coming off her player she's guarding to take that charge. And 4 turnovers now already on Drake here in this first quarter. You mentioned they do have high turnover numbers, do the Bulldogs. Now, some of that's the pace they play at, the number of possessions they have in a game, but big advantage for SDSU so far in this game in that area.
Stop and pop, not there for Sellen. Woolridge with the rebound. Penetrate, kick for 3, off the mark there for Gildner. Across to Irwin. Sydney Stapleton in for the first time for the Jacks, catching the corner. And this is going to go the other way. That is a handful of charges.
Yeah.
Really going both ways. As this will go against Stapleton.
You like the aggressive play. Nothing wrong with that part of it, but got to do it a little bit more under control if you're Stapleton there. Read the defense, come to that jump stop.
Collier and Burridge back in for the Bulldogs. There's Collier. Good look again for Gildner. South Dakota State on some really good pace though, and Sellen's got 6 quick points. And you were just looking at some of the box scores over the last few games, Bradley. There's been some offensively challenged quarters for the Jackrabbits, where they have not even been in double digits, but really got it going offensively tonight. Sellen knocks that away into the hands of Voloshin. Kylie Irwin slicing in and 1.
Well, you look at the last 8 quarters that South Dakota State's played, and now granted all those were on the road for Aaron Johnson's group, but only one of them did they score over 20 points in. And most of them were in the 12 to less range, and they are sitting here right now at 23, and we still got 2:47 left to go.
Running it right back on the break against the Bulldogs that time. Irwin with 6 coming off the bench.
And they've done a terrific job on this and forcing Drake to have to try to execute a lot more of their offense in the half court than they would like to. And if that can continue for South Dakota State, their chances of winning this game are going to dramatically continue to go up.
3 for Burrich. Monica Burrich out of Roseville, Minnesota. Sister Janae played recently at North Dakota State.
Scoring buckets also really helps Drake defensively, because then South Dakota State's got to take it out of the net. Get a chance to get their zone set. They're going to get an and one there, though.
Tori Nelson on the drive, and another defensive player trying to step in there, but I think Berg was inside the circle. She went down, so counted for Tori Nelson.
Now, one thing that this SDSU coaching staff really felt in their last 2 games is they had lost some of that aggressive play that they had become so good at here in their 3 home games. You know, went to Kansas State, Tom, who is a very physical team and a team that has a lot of size. And South Dakota State just wasn't able to get a lot of stuff around the basket against the Wildcats. But in this game, SDSU's been able to get a lot of nice paint touches, some and ones to go with it. Look right now, points in the paint, and SDSU's got 10 of them already.
Foul on Tori Nelson will send Grace Berg to the line.
Bad news for SDSU is they're approaching 10 fouls here in this first quarter. They're up to 8 already.
Doing everything big, man.
Yeah.
Well, Jacks scored 48 points total in their last game, and they lost at Northern Iowa.
Right now they're on about 120-point pace plus. This thing continues. Bad pass there by Tori Nelson, though.
Picked off by Monahan, but Berg couldn't get it down. Bulldogs tipping it around, and South Dakota State will avoid giving up a bucket after the turnover.
Well, those are the plays that Drake has to make if they're going to try to make this comeback. As you see, the assists, of which we were praising Drake earlier. Again, they lead the country in assists per game, but SDSU, the team right now that's ruling that stat.
Tori Nelson hustling in there. It's off the hands of the Bulldogs. New 20 seconds for South Dakota State. Selland and Byam and Velasquez all back in for the Jacks. Monahan ahead to Collier. Handoff to Berg, and Grace Berg doing what she can to keep Drake close here. She's got 9 already.
She's the 2nd leading scorer right now in the Missouri Valley Conference at 18 a game. And you can see why. She can score inside and out as she drills that 3.
Bulldogs throw some zone at the Jacks this time. South Dakota State's missed its last 3 threes. That one by Velasquez off the side. Thunick hustling after it again, and it goes off of Drake.
I'll tell you, for 5'7", Lindsey Thunick gets involved in a lot more rebounds than you think someone would at her size. And there, she didn't get it, but she saved it for her team, essentially.
Nelson, and the 3 won't go down at the moment for the Jacks. And they knock it out this time. What was the other crazy number we were looking at in the game against Gonzaga here before the Jacks went on the road? They had 7 different players make a 3-point shot in that game, but when they went on the road, only 2 players even made a 3 in those 2 games. That was Selland
and Thunick was the other one. Yeah, so yeah, you look here tonight, and they've already had 3 different players knock one in. See if they can run the clock down here. Can you limit Drake from getting another possession, at least one without too much time? But
nope, they're going to get Selland for a screen right at the top of the circle. Will not be free throws for the Bulldogs, but they'll get the ball back with 18 seconds.
Now, on the good news, that is just the first foul on Selland. And pretty much everyone else already had a foul. And Selland's a player who unfortunately has been in some significant foul trouble at time for SDSU this year, and she can't afford to do that.
Yeah, fouled out against Iowa State, the game we had here. Sat a lot of the game against Gonzaga. Another foul, though, on the Jacks, and this will be free throws. Again for Grace Berg.
Well, Berg has been the bright spot for Drake offensively in this game. 9 of their 16 points from her. And Tom Berg, a player that started her career at Missouri and then transferred to Drake, sat out last year and has been a terrific addition this year and their leading scorer.
Berg had 24 in a win over Creighton this year, had 26 in that loss to Iowa. And 11 for Grace Berg. Nelson's going to get one more heave here at the buzzer, but a nice start for the Jackrabbits. They get out to the 10-0 lead and lead at 27-18.
Well, SDSU led by 18 at one point in this first quarter. They were on fire. Drake had no answer, slowing down the running Rabbits. We got an offensive shootout coming back for quarter 2.
3 and 2 coming into this game tonight. Those 3 wins at home, 2 losses on the road.
I think they like playing in Frost Arena, and first quarter certainly indicative of that too, as they put 27 on the board here in the first frame. But I mean, look at the difference in those offensive numbers, points per game, the shooting differences, the turnovers, another big one. And South Dakota State certainly has always played great on their home floor, but Aaron Johnson trying to figure out what's in the water here in Brookings that's causing his team to be so much better. He's going to ride that wave right now, that's for sure.
Burkhardt swing to Thunick, who stayed on the dribble, knocked off there by Collier, and Collier coming the other way. Kiara Collier did not score in that opening quarter for the Bulldogs. Grace Berg did and keeps it rolling. She's got 14 of the 21 right now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, she is single-handedly keeping her team in the game on the road where they have really struggled to get stops, but her offense has really clicked. Got this down to a 6-point deficit.
South Dakota State came out, made its first 5 shots, got out to that 10-0 lead. They've obviously cooled a little bit since then, especially from the 3-point line. That's 5 misses in a row. Burkhardt right in front of the rim and in for Peyton Burkhardt.
Well, that's right where they need to get Burkhardt the ball. When she can get the ball close to the basket, quickly get the shot up before the double team can come.
Maddie Monahan spinning inside and get fouled on the armbar. Burkhardt.
SDSU has got to start playing better defense without fouling. They're going to be in a world of hurt here in foul trouble if they have another quarter like they did the first one. They had 10 fouls, Tom, in that first quarter, and that there's just not enough room to distribute those if that trend continues. As you mentioned there, Burkhardt getting her second. Already 3 players, Burkhardt, Greer, and Byam, all 3 of those, excuse me, with 2 fouls.
Maddie Monahan has been a constant for Drake, the senior. This is her 101st start.
Wow.
For the Bulldogs. that is impressive.
That is a really impressive number. Hasn't missed a start in probably, what, with that number, 3+ years?
Yeah, 101 in a row, yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's Cal Ripken-ish, right? I mean, that's nuts.
Courtney Becker out there causing some problems, and the Jacks turn it over off the hands of Selin.
Now the turnover's starting to even now here as Drake has, I think, really done a nice job mixing their defense between man and zone and going back and forth. Kind of kept South Dakota State guessing. Turnovers are now even at 6 apiece.
Great back cut, no finish for Nygaard. Jacks with Nelson coming the other way, but that'll be another turnover as Nelson had it for a moment.
Job recovering there by SDSU on a kind of a broken play.
Yeah, they had collapsed 4 players down there in the post on Berg. Back to Nygaard, all the way out, long rebound to Woolridge. Back to Berg, who scores again, 16.
Wow.
Already for Grace Berg.
Well, you mentioned her career high came against their loss to Iowa, where she had 26. Well on pace to break that, the rate she's going.
Nelson, no hesitation on that shot. She's got 7.
Now that's what they want to see out of Nelson. What you just said right there, Tom. No hesitation. Need her to become a confident scorer now as a sophomore.
Byam and Sellen kind of comboed on that block.
SDSU continuing to push it right at Drake. Boy, nice pass inside there. Oh, look at that footwork. My goodness, Grace Berg. Well, Tom, she was, as a high school player, ranked the 36th best high school player in the country by ESPN. So big-time talent out of Indianola, Iowa. And Drake knows they've got a good one at having her in their program now.
Berg with 18 already, and Tylee Irwin back for the Jacks. She's got 8. Jacks have wanted some of these other scorers, so to speak. Bradley get more involved in the offense with Greer and Nelson and Irwin doing that so far tonight. Woolridge goes down, and a bump on Byam will be her 3rd foul.
Aaron Johnston had to put somebody out there that still had 2 fouls. It's just getting a lot of players now that do it. Unfortunately for Byam, now picks up her 3rd, so he'll have to go a little deeper now into the bench.
And I got to check that foul. They did not call that on Byam. It was on Tylee Irwin, so that so Irwin goes out.
Makes sense because Byam is still on the floor, but that was Irwin's 2nd then. So now just another player added to the list.
Jacks go a little deeper into the bench with Reagan Nesheim on the floor now for the first time. As Haley Greer comes away with that, and she's fouled. Just the first foul of the quarter here on Drake. Goes on Collier.
You kind of had the feeling, though, even though Drake got off to that slow start, they were down 10-zip, like you mentioned, that the way this game is being played and the pace that it's at, that Drake is happy to still, just be playing in a game like this that's up and down the floor. It's a little more free-flowing. And we mentioned their loss at Wisconsin-Green Bay, where they were held down to, 61 points. I mean, that was not their cup of tea at all.
Both of these teams have beaten Creighton so far this year. Sellen, great move to go back to the left hand.
Well, that's the risk in extending your defense full court if you're Drake there, is you very likely could give up an easy one at the rim, and they did, and then follow that up with an unforced error trying to run your fast break. Here's a possession where I think SDSU's just trying to diagnose, Tom, what defense Drake was in and never got into any sort of rhythm there. Another thing that South Dakota State's done a better job at in this game, and that's at least just forcing Drake to run their half-court offense a little further away from the basket, not letting them easily catch it right on the three-point line.
This is as deep into the shot clock as they have gone, as Collier got in there and had it blocked by Nesheim.
SDSU's done a terrific job on Kiera Collier, in this game. She hasn't scored yet.
Off on the 3 for Velostian. Yeah, South Dakota State's used a lot of lineups so far this year. They've got Sellen and Greer, and then 2 freshmen and 1 redshirt freshman out there right now. There's Collier trying to get going. Out to Woolridge for 3, and Velostian with the rebound.
And Drake does 3 of 10 from the three-point line. Nice pass there. South Dakota State's gotten their share of transition buckets in this game. Quite frankly, kind of beaten Drake in that area, and that's why they have this 11-point lead right now.
Yeah, getting to the rim for layups and ones. They had 3 and 1s in that first quarter, and this is off the hands of Collier.
Grace Berg, the reason Drake has been able to stay in this thing. The sophomore has 18 of the Bulldog 26 points. She needs some help to come alongside her, though, if they're going to be able to hang on the road here.
This game on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Again, limited fans allowed to attend here at Frost Arena for these non-conference games. As South Dakota State off to a great start in that first quarter against Drake here tonight. Bulldogs right back in it now, down 37-26 with 4 minutes to go in the opening half.
And Drake has continued to put a lot of pressure on South Dakota State in the backcourt. That's not really something SDSU's seen from many of their opponents so far this year. Been able to handle it for the most part pretty good.
Lostian hanging there, held off by Maggie Bear. Pull up three by Gildner, who's yet to hit. Bear ties it up. Stays down here with Drake with the shot clock at 19. Drake picked to finish fourth in the Missouri Valley this year. You got Missouri State, top 25 team. You got Bradley and Northern Iowa picked in front of Drake in the Valley as Gildner finally gets one to go down.
Yeah.
A lot of crossover in these early season games between the Summit League and the Missouri Valley.
Yeah, and probably even more this year with COVID and teams trying to limit some of their air travel. South Dakota State's next game is at Missouri State, that preseason favorite you just mentioned. Nice move by Selland in the paint there. She's up to 10 now, also has 5 boards to go along with that.
She's been crafty around the rim so far.
And the big thing is, in a game where there's been significant foul trouble, she has been able to stay on the floor avoiding it. Now, she didn't do a great job defensively there, but yeah.
Tripped and got held off there by Bear. Bear gets her first bucket.
But there might need to be a little give and take with that on Selland. I mean, she is a player that SDSU really cannot afford to have in foul trouble, Tom. And if that means, honestly, maybe your defensive coaches hold your ears here, cringing. Maybe you give up a little bit on the D end where you don't always challenge every shot. I still think that's a win for SDSU overall, to have her on the floor for more minutes because she means so much to their team offensively. I think we call that the Mike Dom philosophy, maybe, right? Remember the great player on the men's side here. He needed him on the floor for his offense.
Yeah, TJ Otzelberger, he was the head coach here, was just merciless on Mike Dom's defense and said, yep, we'll keep him out there because he can score. But Selland, she's averaging about 26 minutes a game right now, not a ton.
And a lot of that's been because of foul trouble. I think this program would like to see her on the floor for 30 plus, especially in a big tilt game like this one where, this is a very difficult opponent in Drake.
Maddie Monahan on that score at the other end to make it a 6-point game. Nessheim for 3.
That's big time when you can get a player that doesn't get a lot of minutes to step in and hit a huge 3 like that.
Nessheim's played less than 3 minutes all year and gets called on here. That is her first points of the season on that 3-point shot.
You got Greer with 2 fouls and Irwin with 2 fouls, so 2 guards right now. So Nessheim needing to fill in some of that role and making the most of it. Good look there for Thunick, just can't get that one to drop. Nice cut, and Drake is a team that moves really well without the ball. You see it right there. You just turn your head for a split second, they burn you.
Yeah, you can see why those assist numbers are so high because they're so good at that back cut and finding people for easy shots like that.
Yeah, starting to creep up there. They got 10 of them now on 12 made buckets, do the Bulldogs. Oh, nice block.
Nelson rejected by Bear.
Look at Bear run the floor. I tell you, Drake puts a lot of pressure on your defense by how well all 5 of their players sprint the floor. They are well coached in that area.
Back screen there, getting Bear down into the post. Shot on the run by Gelder, no good. Berg grabbed it, but she was out of bounds, and South Dakota State will have it with 5.6.
Well as South Dakota State has played in this game offensively, I mean, 42 points, terrific output for them. They still have only been able to manage a 7-point lead.
Well, Jackrabbits ride that hot start to a halftime lead. Fun first half with the Jacks and the Drake Bulldogs. SDSU leads at 42-35 at the break. Saturday at home against Lewis College. And then Drake is at Iowa State next week. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Yes. One thing I love about the state of Iowa and their Division I teams is that they are very much engaged in playing each other. Drake already hosted Iowa, gonna get to go play Iowa State. I love that about their state and the way those colleges definitely go at each other, and especially on the women's side. I mean, those are all terrific programs. Throw Northern Iowa in there too.
Throw Creighton in there too, and that
that
area.
Mix, yeah.
Peyton Burkhardt going at Monica Burrich. Maya Selland offensive rebound.
6 rebounds for Selland now in this game to go along with her 10 points. Both those leading SDSU.
Haley Greer inside, got hot early. Her first points since the first couple of minutes of the game, but she's got 7.
We came in praising Drake for sharing the basketball the way they do, and they have, but South Dakota State has 14 assists already in this game. Looking to see if they can add to it on this possession.
Oh, Selland.
Nice.
Thought she was going to go reverse. Back to the left and in for Selland, who's got a dozen. Another quick shot by the Bulldogs, rebounded Tori Nelson.
Is this quarter going to start like the game did? Missed that time as SDSU's got a quick 4-0 run going.
Here's Collier, did not score in that first half. That's her first points. Had 3 assists in the first half. But Collier's coming off a game in Iowa where she had 25 points, 10 assists in that one, made 7 threes. Just a great player that has not been in the mix so far here in this one.
Another nice pass there. Cross court to Thunick, and she gets the and one.
Watch Haley Greer just kind of pick it up one-handed on the dribble here.
South Dakota State has 9 different players that have gotten an assist in this game. Greer now leading the team with 4 of them. Jacks really sharing it well, and that is a big reason why they're playing so well offensively.
Thunick with 6 points.
South Dakota State's done a pretty good job guarding Drake in the half court in this game. They forced Drake out, a step or 2 past the 3 line, been there on the catch for the most part on the perimeter.
Counted for Monahan. That was a great play by Maggie Bear, who almost lost it out of bounds, taps it back into the corner, and Monahan hits 3.
bucket that Drake really needed.
Selling off on the other end, but the Bulldogs touch it last. Here's that last bucket at the other end for Drake.
Drake down 12 here and can't handle the post, but boy. Just barely saved that. Got to be an assist there, right?
Yes, another assist. Berg off the miss by Greer down at this end. Selling the block. This time, and that is off of Berg and out of bounds.
Well, you got to think that Berg is going to draw a little more defensive attention here in this second half. And how about Selland swatting it and hits Berg on the face? South Dakota State ball. I got to get the ball into Burkhardt a little quicker there. She had great position. Took too long to get it to her.
Lindsay Thunig, 5 already here in the quarter, 8 in the game for Thunig. Extra dribble to make that an easy shot. Monahan. 3 more for Maddie Monahan, who's hit 2 threes to open up the second half.
Keep in mind, Drake's got 3 players, Monahan one of them, that average 16 or more per game. So they've got plenty of scoring punch out there.
Tori Nelson strong to that right hand. She's got 9 now. Bulldogs turn it over, trying to get it back in.
There's been a few too many of those types of turnovers in this game for Drake on the road. Great ball movement there.
Another 3 for Haley Greer.
How about the job South Dakota State's doing, moving the ball in this game offensively?
Both teams hot from behind the arc. That is 3 for Maggie Nygaard, her first points of the game. Nygaard and Monahan knocking them down at one end. Greer at the other. 10-point game just underway here in the second half. South Dakota State 56-46. Brad Newitt, the leading scorers this year so far for the Bulldogs. Berg, Collier, Monahan, all making huge strides from a season ago.
Yeah, neither one of them, or none of them, were double-figure scorers. You know, Berg didn't even play last season. She was sitting out due to transfer. And I mean, teams are usually excited if you can have one player that maybe averages 16. You got 3 of them in your lineup if you're Drake, and that's why I say this game is not out of reach for them right now. It's down 10 in the third quarter. There's plenty of offensive firepower there for Coach Baranachek to get this thing going again for her team. Now, called timeout there. I'm expecting a defensive change. Let's see if we see it. Do they go back to that zone? Looks like they're at least going to show the zone press. Sure enough, they get a turnover out of it.
Ripped off by Berg, blocked by Nelson, right back to Berg. And in, and she is up to 20 now to lead the Bulldogs.
She kept her team in the game offensively in the first half. Now she's going to need some help alongside her in the second half to make this comeback, but that was a good start.
Let's turn it over again.
I tell you, SDSU better be ready here. Drake's coming after them.
Nelson comes out for SDSU. Berg goes to the bench for the moment here for Drake. As Woolridge comes back in, and they had that set up beautifully, but off the hands of Monahan.
If I'm Drake, I don't know if I leave Berg on the bench too long here. You kind of have the momentum a little bit right now. You called that timeout. You forced a couple turnovers. Make it 3 in a row now on SDSU. This is where you got a chance to cut into this lead. Look at how quickly Drake will move this basketball side to side. They're always making the defense have to shift. And a foul that time.
Midway through the third, South Dakota State hanging on to an 8-point lead. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dr. Verl Valentine. Drake going without senior Hannah Fuller tonight. Started the first 2 games of the year for the Bulldogs. Has been out the last 2 and out again tonight. Senior that's played in close to 100 games in her career for Drake. South Dakota State on the other side. Callie Tyson, a sophomore, still out for the Jackrabbits here at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately for Tyson, still trying to come back from an injury she suffered last year. So hopefully get her back in the lineup here soon.
Maggie Bear inside off the assist from Taylor McCauley.
7-0 run right now for Drake here. And the reason why they forced turnovers on this end. There's a nice take though by Irwin.
Tylee Irwin into double digits. Berg and Collier on the bench right now for the Bulldogs, but Maggie Bear back to back. Another really good pass.
Yeah, both
the assists just stack up. Yeah, really both ways. Been entertaining offensively. And we like it that way, Newitt.
Sure, let's keep it rolling.
Defense
there it is.
And rebounding. Rebound margins are all great. But you got to make shots. 2 more for Burkhart for the Jacks. And at the other end, a foul on the screen on Maggie Nygaard. We'll give it back to South Dakota State as Collier comes back in.
I'll tell you what makes a game like this fun, though, is both teams are willing to play a little more up-tempo, and this game has been a little looser on the offensive end. Teams have gotten into a good rhythm.
Selling, stepping in off the assist from Thunick.
Drake's going to have to take a hard look in this game if they want to keep extending their D like that full court. Yes, they've forced a few turnovers, but it has also cost them with some easy buckets. There was one right there, and Drake returns the favor on the other end.
Collier now with 4. Tylee Irwin again, spin and got the roll. And that is a dozen for Irwin.
How about the way she has finished around the rim in this game tonight? Great to see Irwin doing that. Drake continues to really put a lot of pressure on SDSU with their basket cuts there.
Foul on Thunick, got a grab there underneath as Byam and Nessheim come back in.
I'll tell you what, SDSU had 10 fouls in the first quarter, and it was, oh boy, watch out. But since then, they've only had 6, so they've done a much better job cleaning that part up.
No contact there, but no foul. Went off of Nessheim.
Now, and Graceburg back in this game for Drake, number 43. That's the player SDSU has not been able to shut down in this game tonight.
Collier threaded that pass through a lot of hands to get it to Monica Burrich.
This is what Collier means to this Drake team, because she can deliver passes like that, right on the money. She's been quiet scoring tonight, but that has not diminished what her role has been, still being a great point guard for Drake. Miscommunication on that handoff, though, that time leads to a turnover. Now 14 turnovers will keep you up at night as a coach.
Nygaard strips that away from Sellen, and that is how many on South Dakota State now?
On them,
dozen
so,
for the Jacks.
So both these teams have certainly been a little looser with the ball than their coaches would like, but the offenses have been humming pretty good too.
Yes. 3 for Taylor McCauley. Bulldogs have knocked down 4 threes already here in this third quarter. South Dakota State started the quarter with a 7-point lead, though, still hanging on by 8.
Two great players going at each other here. Sellen and Berg, and Sellen won that one.
Everybody's finishing at the rim tonight for the Jackrabbits. Irwin and Sellen and Burkhardt.
That's a terrific matchup on both ends of the floor. The two best players on each team going at each other.
17 for Burkhardt. Grace Berg with 20 right now. He's wide open in the corner. And
what do you say about wide open jumpers? Those are
they're the hardest ones to make.
Yeah.
Even that one, Velasquez all by herself from the free throw line.
So you got to throw it back to Berg there. She was wide open. They delivered the pass about a second too late, and that's what led to the block shot. Sellen going right back at him. Tell you, these players are showing some fatigue here, and you start looking at how much up and down this game has been. Plenty of it for both squads here, as the possessions near 60 for both teams, and that's honestly only about 4 less possessions than what South Dakota State's been averaging per game this year. Now, Drake's a team that likes it up in the high 70s, low 80s when it comes to possession. So this, again, this pace has been right where they like it.
Love this pace, knew it.
Yeah. And honestly, South Dakota State would love for it to be higher than what they've had, but you know, they got in a couple of games, especially on the road, more possession games at Kansas State, Northern Iowa, and quite frankly, that's why they struggled scoring, and that's why they didn't win.
Sellen sits down with 18 points. That foul was on Monica Burrich, by the way, her 4th for Drake. There's Collier.
Yeah. She is so good getting to the rim and either drawing defense and dumping to a teammate for an open one, or like there, you can see she could easily finish when she gets a crease.
6 points for Collier. She's only taken 5 shots.
Nice cut there. Beautiful pass by Greer, her 5th assist.
To Nessheim, who is getting her first Jackrabbit points here tonight. Redshirt freshman, hit a 3 in the first half. 5 for Nessheim. Did they mess around that whole time just to set that up? That was pretty good if they did. Bucket for for the Bulldogs at the buzzer, and 9-point game after 3.
Well, it's a third quarter that only Tom Neiman could love. 28-26 was the score. South Dakota State. Drake, buckle up for the fourth quarter, people. We've got some offense rolling.
Maya Sellen sat out for most of last season, played 9 games and then got shut down because of injury. And fantastic to have the junior from Letcher, South Dakota, back in the lineup. 17 points a game through the first 5 for the Jackrabbits. She's got 18 so far here tonight, plus the rebounds, plus the assists.
Oh, and here's the big thing, a stat that's not on there. The minutes she has been able to play tonight. Now, she's getting just a quick break here. She has played 28 of the 30 so far, Tom. And we were talking earlier in this game about how her minutes are only at about 27 a game, and that's been because of foul trouble in some instances. And tonight she's been able to stay out of that foul trouble. It's been huge.
Missed by Monahan to start the fourth. Mesa by him with the rebound. Freshman stays out there. Greer ahead. That pass deflected by Becker. Taken away by Berg. Grace Berg's got 20 through 3 quarters for the Bulldogs, and she will go to the free throw line.
Now, the more this becomes, it is an open floor game it ultimately probably does benefit Drake, and especially now as a team that's trying to make up a 9-point deficit.
Got that last foul on Nessheim, who was kind of sliding by. AJ not buying that foul, but Berg is 6 of 6 at the free throw line. She's got 22. Drake, really good free throw shooting team.
See how much South Dakota State spreading the floor, trying to drive, kick. They do ultimately get an open three for Irwin there.
Tori Nelson runs it down. Without Greer and Selland out there, it's maybe not quite as organized offensively.
No, I think they certainly are losing 2 of their best playmakers out there. And really their 2 leading assist people when they don't have them out there. Selland 4 assists in this game just because she's drawn some people to her to kick, and Greer a terrific passer.
Jax did get a really good look for Irwin that just a moment ago. Shot clock's down to 2 though. Nelson's got to get this up. Blocked by Maggie Bear. Bulldogs coming the other way. Collier.
She just hasn't quite been on top of her game tonight. That's a play you'll see her make 9 times out of 10.
Good setup by Thunick. Another miss by Irwin though, and 1 and out for the Jacks. Bird fouled by Nelson.
And honestly, that foul might not have been the worst thing in the world, because Selland and Burkhart have been sitting there at the score table for almost a couple of possessions there, Tom. Aaron Johnson was anxious to get them back in the game. Oh, nice high-low. Great seal that time by Bear. And her and Berg really play well together on that exchange.
Yeah, another assist for the Bulldogs.
SDSU trying their own version of it and turn it over.
Here's that inbound at the other end. Berg to Bear, and Drake within 5 with 8 minutes to play. High school sports, college football, college basketball, it's all here and more on Midco Sports Plus, our new streaming app. Gives you access to live and recorded games as well as original shows. Get it today at midcosn.com/streaming. Eight minutes to play here at Frost Arena. Jackrabbits hanging on to a 5-point lead. South Dakota State out to a great start in this game, led by 16 in the opening quarter. Drake cut it to 7 at halftime. South Dakota State led by 9 just a moment ago. Drake within 5 here with 7:50 to play. Grace Berg has been outstanding. Might have got away with a push off there. Jacks, though, scrambling after the interior pass. They tie it up, and it goes over to South Dakota State.
Well, that was a stop defensively that South Dakota State really needed. They were kind of starting to leak some oil here because they've turned it over so much on the offensive end here of late. Now, they take care of it here and attack this Drake defense.
Good crossover blocked by Berg, however, with the shot clock still at 8.
I'll tell you, Drake's three-quarter court pressures kind of bothered South Dakota State in that all of it getting into a good rhythm in the half court offensively now. Shot clock down again.
It's shots like that went in early for the Jacks. Not so much here in the second half.
Selling and Berg going at each other. That time there in the low post. They're down there again now. Nice pass that time. And Berg couldn't finish. Or one of the few times tonight, Tom, that Grace Berg hasn't converted.
They execute so well in the half court, though. Back cut of their own, and Selling with an and one. Caught this in traffic and kept that left foot down long enough to score. 20 for Selling.
That's her biggest point output of the season. Tom, she's been missed consistency this year. You look at her scoring here. 19 against Iowa State. She had 17 against Creighton, 18 against Gonzaga, 15 and 16 in her last 2 games on the road, and now 20 tonight. Doing it every night out for SDSU. Drake takes Grace Berg out of this game.
Collier again got almost point blank, but could not get it down.
State continuing also to try to move this basketball. Make Drake have to exert a lot of energy on the defensive end, guarding side to side.
And then Nelson getting to the free throw line late in the shot clock.
They just kind of wore Drake down. 3 ball reversals. You're in the 4th quarter. If you're Drake, you're feeling your legs right now. There's been a lot of possessions up and down, and SDSU just wore down the Drake defense that time, quite frankly, to get that look. Oh, and another just costly, unneeded turnover in the backcourt by the Bulldogs. They've had at least 3 of those here tonight in a game where they've been trying to dig out of a 10-0 run that SDSU started this game on, and they haven't been able to get back even.
Corey Nelson makes him pay. 12 for Nelson. Irwin's got 12. Greer's got 10.
Right, Drake, they've got to get Grace Berg and Maddie Monahan back in this game right now. They're their 2 leading scorers, and they're both on the bench.
Under the scores table, but blocking one in. Nelson on the run out at the other, and South Dakota State on a 7-0 run to go back up by 12. Timeout Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're going to get a timeout to get them back in the game. And credit South Dakota State for making that 7-0 run there in the last minute 15 with Drake's 2 best players on the bench.
Tori Nelson, freshman of the year last year in the Summit League, and passed up one of those really hard all-by-yourself 3-point shots there, Bradley, and got a 10-footer instead. So back-to-back buckets for Nelson. She scored the last 5 for the Jacks.
Yeah, she's got 14 now, 2nd in scoring for SDSU in this game. Kind of having a little bit of a breakout here after, kind of quite frankly, having some struggles for SDSU through their first 5 here. Looks like she has kind of found another gear here tonight on their home floor. A big possession here for Drake. You're down 12 with 5 to go. You've got to be very efficient on the offensive end, and good job there by the experienced player Monahan getting to the line, the senior.
Shooting 2, number 2, Maddie Monahan.
Well, Tom, Maddie Monahan, Silver Lake, Minnesota. What famous South Dakota State player was from the same high school?
From Glencoe, Minnesota. Yeah, Cullen Ober.
Yep.
Saw Cullen here at halftime. Came over to say hi. Said he coached Maddie Monahan when she was a youngster. Cullen played here back in the day, and then Carissa, his daughter, great player here just a few years ago.
Whoa.
Collier rejected by Selland. It stayed in bounds. Monahan got over to it, and the Jacks knock it out. One more aspect to Maya Selland's game.
Yeah. She's long, she's rangy, and that was a big-time block shot there.
Berg right at Tori Nelson getting back to the free throw line. Berg quiet so far in the second half. Had 18 at halftime. Sitting on 22 right now.
Well, the free throw line's where she's been able to do some damage, though. Perfect 6 for 6 tonight. Hard to believe she only averaged basically about 4 points a game in her freshman year at Missouri. Now was battling some injury through that, but man, terrific player for Drake. Now 23 tonight. Let's see, can Drake force a turnover here with some pressure? And for South Dakota State, can you take care of it? Try to wear Drake down again, maybe with a little longer half-court possession here, and they draw a foul.
Just the second on Berg, and just the third team foul of the quarter on Drake. As Burrich will go out, Maggie Bear back in.
Nice fake by Greer. Those are the shots that Irwin's made pretty regularly here tonight, but left that one just a tad short, and then another costly turnover for Drake. They're up to 17 now. That one coming at the wrong time as they try to make up this 10-point deficit. This is the fine line you got to walk for South Dakota State. You don't want to be in a hurry. You want to run a little bit of clock, but you can't lose your aggressiveness offensively.
Irwin good on this one, though. 14 for Tylee Irwin.
That's a tough shot. She just nailed it.
Berg, good find to Bear. Jacks, though, with the block.
Yeah, SDSU doing a nice job protecting the rim here of late. They've got 6 block shots in this game.
Jacks turn it over again. Our guy Dylan hanging right in there on the down cam. As Monahan scores, she's got 16.
Tell you though, time running out here on Drake. Boy, though, SDSU misses an easy one, and watch out, this could turn into transition the other way, and it does.
Both teams are gassed. However,
Yes.
and Collier just cannot get one to fall. And this is off Drake and out of bounds. And the lead stays 10 as we go into 3 minutes.
You said it, Tom. These teams are tired. This is a game that has had 74 possessions already. And a typical game is mid to upper 60s. Plenty of back and forth.
Berg scores off the steal by Courtney Becker. Not only the steal, but the turnaround and then right into the hands of Berg. Grace Berg with 25 to lead the Bulldogs.
Right place, right time, and that's what Drake needs, though. They need a little spark here now. And if you're South Dakota State here, that's why Aaron Johnson probably called this timeout. You got to be ready for some pressure. I think Drake's going to be coming at you now, not necessarily maybe with the typical three-quarter court they've shown just to slow you down. They be ready for some traps here if you're South Dakota State. good job there by SDSU handling that now. You do want to run some clock here if you can, but you got to stay aggressive. Look to attack when that opportunity's there.
Greer did not get it down, but they burned 30 seconds there. Monahan streaking the other way, throws that in, and it's a 6-point game.
You got to get back, though, if you're SDSU. You know Drake's looking to score quickly.
Haley Greer, that needs to go in for the Jacks, but Tori Nelson, another offensive rebound. Shot clock goes back to 20.
It's huge what Nelson did there. Her second O board of the game.
Foul on Bear, her third. Tori Nelson to shoot 2.
These are huge free throws. This is where if you're South Dakota State, you've got a chance to really kind of put the hammer down here. Stretch this thing back to 8 by making your free throws. Nice job by Nelson there.
Jacks 6 of 10 at the line so far. Nelson herself is 4 of 5 now.
Well, that's huge too, because now you let your defense get back and get set. You're ready though, because here comes Drake right at you. Nice job by Tyler Irwin, not fouling Tom, and then still blocking the shot from behind. A huge defensive play right there.
Funick grabbed on the drive by Berg, and that'll be 5 fouls now on Drake.
And now you force Drake's hand here. They're going to have to foul because of where the clock is in the deficit. So you cannot understate what Tyler Irwin did on that last defensive possession down. That was huge. Shut the break down, not foul, block the shot there, come up with the loose ball. And that's why Aaron Johnston wants his senior guard on the floor as much as possible.
She's played fantastic. 14 points as well for Irwin tonight. Yeah, AJ's gone with these top 6 entirely here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he used his bench well in the first half, especially when he was massaging a lot of foul trouble, and he's been able to go with his main weapons here when the game was on the line, and it served him well.
And that kind of night for Kiera Collier, that 3-point shot was 3/4 of the way down and came back out.
Yeah, I mean, this is a player in Collier who's came into tonight 14 of 26, Tom, from the 3-point line. She's what, 0 of 2 now. Hasn't been her night on the offensive end. Huge rebound there.
Sellen sneaking in there. Tori Nelson had that huge offensive rebound a moment ago.
Yep, a couple backbreakers there by SDSU on the glass.
Sellen maybe with the sealer right there, and she'll go to the line.
How about the difference again of how SDSU has played on their home floor versus on the road? You know, their 2 games last week, they were scratching and clawing just to get to 50 points. Tonight, Aaron Johnson's team sitting right now at 83, make it, almost 84.
Yeah, this will be the highest scoring output by far so far for the Jacks. Had 75 in that overtime win against Gonzaga.
Yeah. We talked about coming into tonight, Drake averaging 23 assists per game, that leading the country. Guess where SDSU is tonight on assists? 23 of them, Tom, on 34 made buckets. Just a terrific job sharing the basketball, playing team basketball, and getting everyone involved on that offensive end. 5 players in double figures for SDSU tonight.
What is looking like a great rebound win for the Jackrabbits to get them to 4-2. Started the year with really good wins. Any good win in this preseason with the schedule that they have is a really good win. Iowa State, Creighton, and Gonzaga in those first 3. The losses at Kansas State and at Northern Iowa. And then after tonight, the Jacks will hit the road Saturday and play at Missouri State. Missouri State's 3-1 right now, rated number 20 in the country. And SDSU will follow that up with a Monday game at Montana State.
Drake's going to let South Dakota State run this clock here, and SDSU's going to pick up a very nice win on their home floor here over a very good team that's, I expect to win a lot of games in the Missouri Valley Conference this year.
Tori Nelson, big fourth quarter. She's got 9 of her 18 here in the fourth quarter. Off for Woolridge at the other end. One more rebound for Nelson as well. Well, Drake got it to 5 here in the fourth quarter with about 8 minutes to go, and South Dakota State went on that 7-0 run, and the Jacks end up winning it by 14.
Just a very complete game for South Dakota State. Shooting 54% on the offensive end in this game, so great offensive efficiency, but then holding a team in Drake that came into this game one of the best scoring teams in the country at 83 points a game, 10 points below their average. So don't undersell what SDSU did in this game defensively as well.
5 Jackrabbits in double figures, led by 21 for Maya Sellen. Tylee Irwin really good tonight with 14. 25 for Grace Bird for the Bulldogs. And we'll be back with the final numbers after this.